Okay, attack into Paris from Picardy. The ground units are going to be at a -1 on the first round of combat due to the river. The units that are in Paris, the ground units are in a city, so they get upped by 1 on their defense rolls due to the city defense bonus. All right, I'm about to start rolling this out. First 4 at 2. There's a 1, and 1 hit is what we got. Okay, 7. Seven at 5. That'll be the medium tanks. At all that, looks like there's 1 hit. 1 measly hit. Okay. All right, 2 fighters at 6. A miss and a hit. And 1 tactical at 7. And that's a miss. Okay, 3 hits. I didn't ask, but I am sure the infantry is going to be 1. And I would guess that after the anti-air gets to take their shots, that they will be the next 2 off the board, since they only get to fire the first round anyway. So we'll do that. And if I'm doing this correctly, and I hope I am, somebody will correct me if I'm not, each AA gun should get 3 shots because there are 3 aircraft involved in the battle at 3 or less. So I've got 6 die in my hand. I'm going to roll and count up how many hits at 3 or less. I see 1. I see 1. 1 hit. That was a 4. That's a miss. 10, 4, 8, and a 10. So I'm going to say 1 hit, and that will obviously be one of my fighters that will disappear. Now, got a medium bomber there that's going to no, militia defending at 3. That's a miss. Medium bomber defending at 4. That is a hit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry at 5. 2 hits. And 2 fighters at 6. Both miss. Okay, so 3 hits. That's going to be 3 mechanized infantry and 1 fighter. That round went bye-bye. Now, everything gets to move back up. Everything gets to move back up. These 3 things are gone. So 1 mechanized infantry at 3. And that's an 11. That's a miss. 7 tanks. 7 tanks at 6. 1, 2, 3 hits, and then we've got a fighter at 6 and a tactical at 7. So here's the fighter at 6, and that's a 1. That's a hit. And then the tactical at 7 or less. That's a 3. That's a hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. The medium bomber defends less, so we'll probably take it off. And the other 4 hits will be infantry, I'm assuming. Okay. Now we'll roll for defense. Medium bomber at 4. Got a hit. Five infantry at 5 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 hits. And 2 fighters at 6 or less. Both misses. Double 7s. Okay, 3 hits, so that's going to be my final mechanized is going off for 1, and then the other 2 will be tanks. Alrighty. Get that stuff out of the way. Has 3 units left on the board. 1 infantry and 2 fighters. I have 5 tanks, a fighter, and a tactical. So 5 tanks. One hit. 2 hits. 2 hits is the crop. Fighter at 6 or less. That's a miss. Tactical at 7 or less. And just get a 7, so that'll be a hit. That'll be all 3 of his remaining units, though they will get a defense roll. Infantry at 5. 10, that's a miss. 2 fighters at 6. 8 and a 2. So I'm going to lose 1 more unit, and it will be a tank. That's the cheapest to replace. So left in Paris, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 medium tanks that will be in Paris. I've got a fighter and a tactical, and as I counted this out earlier, they started off in Western Germany. They'll go 1, 2, 3 into Paris. And since they start off at an airfield, they have 5 movements, so 4, 5, and back into Bavaria, where they will land in non-combat movement. All right, now as I understand it, once I take Paris, all these units that are French are removed from the board. I will declare Vichy. And I'll get that set up what it's supposed to have here in a minute. But in the meantime, 1, 2, 5, and 3 more is 8. Germany will go up 8. Once I get the combat in this round finished, I will go back and I'll pause it and get the Vichy rule set out, so I make sure I do that right when I roll for everything. But right now I'm going to pause it and move on to my next combat as soon as I get this over here taken care of. Okay, my next combat is going to be in Poland. I've got 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 cavalry from Western Poland. Will be moving into Warsaw. Got a fighter from Eastern Germany that will be flying into that mix. I've also got 4 infantry and 2 light tanks from Dolna Seki, and they will be coming up to Warsaw. Okay, 3 of the infantry and the cavalry will be suffering a river penalty on the first round of combat. I've got their infantry moved up, defending in 5 because it's in a city. I'm assuming, I will go ahead and assume that the cavalry will move up and defend at a 3 instead of a 2 because it is in a city as well. And let's roll this out. Okay, one infantry will be supported by an artillery. That ship is one of those infantry. So let's go 3 at 1. No hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at 2. No hits. 1 first strike at 3. Hey, got a 3. First strike. I'm sure he'll take his cavalry off there. We will go ahead and roll the infantry supported artillery at a 3. And that's a 7. That's a miss. 2 light tanks at a 4. 1 hit. And a fighter at a 6. That's a 7. That's a miss. Okay, 1 hit, so I'm sure he will take off one of his infantry. And so he has left to defend 2 infantry and a fighter. So the 2 infantry at 5. Double 11s. That's going to be a big miss. And a fighter at 6. A 10. That's going to be a miss. Okay. At this point in time, the infantry will move back up to a 2 that we're suffering the river penalty, and the cavalry will move up to a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 infantry at 2. And all appear to have missed. Artillery and infantry supported artillery, and cavalry all at 3. 1 hit. So now we've got 2 light tanks at 4 less. 3 and a 1. Both of those are big hits. And a fighter left at 6. And that's a 3. That's going to be 4 hits on 2 units. So I will roll the infantry at 5. That's a 9. That's a miss. And the fighter at 6. That's a 12. That's a miss. Okay. So the German conquest of Warsaw is complete. And they'll get 1 for that. After taking the French territory that the Germans took, now they will move up to 37. Okay, there's what Warsaw looks like after the battle. There's 7 infantry, a cavalry, 2 light tanks, and an artillery, and the fighter flew back to eastern Germany. Now, I may go ahead and place units and collect income and then move off to the Vichy thing, but I better do the Vichy thing first. So I'm going to pause and get the rule book out and make sure I do the Vichy thing right. Okay, if I understand correctly, we'll be rolling for Annam Tonkin, Cochin China, Gambier Islands, and New Caledonia all at the same time. 1 to 6, I'll place a Vichy roundel there. 7 to 12, it'll be Free French. 1 to 6, and those will become under the control of the Japanese with a roll of 4. Plus any French military units present there, regardless of the war status of Japan. Okay, so I'll have to get that swapped out. Okay, and Tonkin and Cochin China will be Japanese. So the Japanese will go up by 2, and that French infantry will be replaced by Japanese infantry. So also Gambier Island and New Caledonia will be Japanese controlled. Okay, next we'll be rolling for French Somaliland, Madagascar, and Reunion. That's a 1. That'll be Vichy as well. Okay, there you see Madagascar, Reunion Island, and French Somaliland went Vichy, with the Free French automatically taking Abyssinia, and they have Eritrea. I don't see them taking too long to get French Somaliland back. French Guyana and St. Pierre Island are next. 7. That stays Free French. Okay, Mauritania, French Guyana, French Sudan, and Ivory Coast. 3. That will go Vichy. Okay, Dahomey, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Obengai Chari are next. Those will stay Free French with a roll of 12. Okay, apparently I missed the Algerias, all of Northern Africa that is French. I'm going to roll for that. 7, that's going to stay Free French. Okay. So those units are still French. Okay, there are 2 French ships on the production chart. We'll roll for the light cruiser first. That's an 8. I'll remember that's an 8 and go look and see what that is. And the battleship is a 5. Way over there, knock stuff off. But okay, an 8 for the light cruiser and a 5 for the battleship. Let's see what we do. Okay, the light cruiser remains Vichy and stays on the production chart until Vichy aligns to a major power or surrenders. Germany can lend-lease IPP to Vichy for completion. The battleship was a 5. It will be scuttled and removed from the game. All right, we'll start at the top of the map and move our way around. There's a French destroyer. 11. It will join the Axis. And I will sail that to the home country under the French flag so it is not sunk outright. Move the destroyer down there. I'll replace it with a German here in just a minute. Now I have 2 battleships. We'll roll them one at a time. 1. 1 is join the Allies. Okay, so one of those battleships will join the Allies. Let's roll for the other one. 5. 5. It is scuttled and removed from the game. So we'll get rid of one of those. The other one is an Allied unit now. There's a destroyer right down there. We'll roll for it. 3. That's going to be join the Allies. So that one's going to stay where it's at. Okay, let's move around here and do the French submarines. One at a time. There's 3 of them there. 9. 9 remains Vichy. Okay, I'm just going to turn that one over on its side so it's Vichy. Second one, 11, joins the Axis. Okay, so I need to replace that with a German submarine. That one right there. And the one over there, she's on 79. Also an 11. So I will replace those 2 with a German submarine and be right back. Okay, these 2 I'm going to sail under the French flag to German home port. I'm going to replace that and those 2. Whoops, throwing stuff around here. The destroyer and the 2 subs right up there. Okay. All right, next up will be that transport right down there. It's all by itself. 10. What does 10 do for us? 10. Remains Vichy, moved to C zone number 49. Okay. All right, now those two are both Vichy. That sub was out there that moved in there. Now I'll roll for the heavy cruiser. 3 with the heavy cruiser. Joins the Allies. Okay, an Allied ship. Destroyer. 12. He'll join the Axis, and he'll sail with the French flag all the way back up here. Next is a torpedo boat destroyer. That's a 9. Remains Vichy and moves to this sea zone right here. As soon as I get everything else out of the way. And last, well, it's not quite last. I think there is a sub left on the board. But that over here, transport. 5. Scuttled. So the transport is no more. Okay. Okay, the last French ship on the map is that submarine right there, I do believe. 10. I'll go and check and see what that does. Okay, that sub went Vichy, and all the Vichy ships are up there in C Zone 49, except for that one heavy cruiser, which belongs to the Allies. There's a destroyer that belongs to the Allies, and a battleship, I do believe, unless I'm terribly mistaken. Okay. I think that took care of all the Vichy rolls. If I missed something, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to collect income, place units, and collect income, and turn this over to somebody else. All right, for placing units, I'm going to place these blue division that I get once a turn into Berlin. I'm going to place the 3 mechanized into Western Germany, and I am going to place the 2 medium tanks into Berlin. Okay, Germany will collect 37 IPCs this round, plus they've got 2 from the Vichy. I'm getting more help than I need from a dog. And if I understand correctly, and I believe I do, one time only thing, the money that was in the French treasury goes to the Germans. So they'll have 47 to spend next round, and I will pass this on to the Fighting Irish, because this has been one stressful round, I can tell you.